Hey guys, today I'm here to talk with you about Lunesta, or Lammas, as it's known after it was taken over by Christianity. But anyway, it is the first of the three harvests of the ancient Celtic pagan tradition. So many witches and Wiccans honor the Wheel of the Year, which is Celtic. But yeah, so let's get into it, and then I'm going to follow it up with a story about the Corn Mother. So I hope you guys are excited because I love the Corn Mother story. Anywho, so this Celtic festival is honoring the god Lu, who is the spirit of craftsmanship, light, victory, and war. So the last 2 weeks of July and the first 2 weeks of August roughly correspond to the sun entering the zodiac sign of Leo. And Leo, of course, is ruled by the sun. So Leo represents like power and success and creativity and abundance, as is the sun. Traditionally, Lunesta was an agricultural festival. Lunesta was also a fire festival characterized by having bonfires. Fire, again, representing the as below aspect of the sun above. So the sun is burning in the sky above. We're having bonfires or lighting candles below, having that balance as above, so below, reflective, beautiful, spiritual mirror. So the Sabbath is a celebration of the harvest, but also a sacrifice to the harvest king. The festival is held to ensure a plentiful harvest. During Lunesta, Lu is believed to fight the evil lord of blight for possession, protection, and safety of the coming harvest. The 3 days prior to August 1st were especially sacred and devoted to the rites of purification. And actually in Ireland, those 3 days before August 1st, which is traditionally Lunesta, were dedicated to an ancient solar goddess, Anna. Okay, so we're talking about the Corn Mother later. Anywho, so Anna is the primordial predecessor of Lu. And it could be that Lunesta once belonged to and honored the holy her. Behind every great man, right? So this sacred day marks the waning of the sun. So the sun is starting to wane away, but it's not quite the fall equinox of Mabon yet. So the days are starting to grow shorter, and this is marking the beginning of the end of summer. So the Corn Mother is also associated with this ancient festival. She is an archetype of the feminine sun, abundance, harvest, and nurturing energies from several different ancient cultures and newer religions as well. Lammas is the Christianized version of the Celtic festival as an attempt to get the heathens or country dwellers, as what pagan means, country dweller. So to kind of, convert the country folk to Christianity. They changed it to Lammas. Anywho, so yes. Devotion to Lu may have been superimposed on the earlier day dedicated to the Corn Mother and her dying son. The Corn Mother mourns her son and eventually transforms the Corn Mother transforms into the Mater Dolorosa, or the Mother of Sorrows in Catholicism. I'm pretty sure she's a saint. I don't know. Anyway, so in Christianity, this reflects the archetype of Mary after losing her son, Jesus. So we have another aspect of Mary that represents the Corn Mother. Archetypes. It's all about any spirituality, religion, whatever. So now, story time. Okay, it's one of my favorite books ever. It's American Indian Myths and Legends, selected and edited by Richard Erdos and Alfonso Ortiz. So, the Corn Mother. So this is just like a little preface before I get into the story. What the buffalo represented to the nomadic tribes of the plains, corn was to the planting people of the east and southwest, the all-nourishing sacred food the subject of innumerable legends and the central theme of many rituals. Derived from a wild grass called teosintol, sorry if I'm butchering all of these pronunciations, corn was planted in Mexico's Tehuacan Valley as early as 8,000 years ago. The oldest corn found north of the border was discovered in New Mexico's Bat Cave. It is about 5,500 years old. The Hopi says, Moingima makes corn. Everything grows on his body. He is short, about the height of a boy. He has a female partner. Every summer he becomes heavy. His body is full of vegetables, watermelon, corn, and squash. They grow in his body. When the Hopi plant, they inevitably ask him to make the crop flourish. Then their things come up, whether vegetables or fruit. When he shaves his body, the seeds come out, and afterwards his body is thin. He used to live on this earth and go with the Hopi. When things grow right, he becomes thin and is unhappy. He stays in the West. Corn had equal significance for tribes in the East, as we will see in this tale from a New England tribe called Corn Mother. When the All-Maker lived on earth, there were no people yet. But one day when the sun was high, a youth appeared and called him, "Uncle, brother of my mother." This young man was born from the foam of waves, foam quickened by the wind and warmed by the sun. It was the motion of the wind, the moistness of the water, and the sun's warmth which gave him life. Warmth above all, because warmth is life. And the young man lived with the All-Maker and became his chief helper. Now after these two powerful beings had created all manner of things, there came to them, as the sun was shining at high noon, a beautiful girl. She was born of the wonderful earth plant and of the dew and of warmth, because a drop of dew fell on a leaf and was warmed by the sun. And the warming sun is life. The girl came into being, from the green living plant, from moisture and from warmth. "I am love," said the maiden. "I am a strength giver. I am the nourisher. I am the provider of men and animals. They all love me." Then the All-Maker thanked the great mystery above for having sent them the maiden. The youth, the great nephew, married her, and the girl conceived and thus became the first mother. And the All-Maker, the great uncle, who teaches humans all they need to know, taught their children how to live. Then they all went away to dwell in the north, from which he will return sometime when he is needed. Now the people increased and became numerous. They lived by hunting, and the more people there were, the less game they found. They were hunting it out, and as the animals decreased, starvation came upon the people, and the first mother pitied them. The little children came to the first mother and said, "We are hungry, feed us." But she had nothing to give them, and she wept. She told them, "Be patient. I will make some food. Then your little bellies will be full." But she kept weeping. Her husband asked, "How can I make you smile? How can I make you happy?" "There is only one thing that will stop my tears." "What is it?" asked her husband. "It is this, you must kill me." "I could never do that." "You must, or I will go on weeping and grieving forever." Then the husband traveled far to the end of the earth, to the north he went, to ask the great instructor, his uncle, the All-Maker, what he should do. "You must do what she wants. You must kill her," said the All-Maker. Then the young man went back to his home, and it was his turn to weep. But First Mother said, "Tomorrow at high noon you must do it. After you've killed me, let two of our sons take hold of my hair and drag my body over the empty patch of earth. Let them drag me back and forth over every part of the patch until all my flesh has been torn from my body. Afterwards, take my bones, gather them up, and bury them in the middle of the clearing. Then leave that place." She smiled and said, "Wait 7 moons, and then come back, and you will find my flesh there, flesh given out of love, and it will nourish and strengthen you forever and ever." So it was done. The husband slew his wife and her sons, praying, dragged her body to and fro as she commanded until her flesh covered all the earth. They then took her bones and buried them in the middle of it. Weeping loudly, they went away. When the husband and his children and his children's children came back to that place after 7 moons had passed, they found that the earth was covered with tall, green, tasseled plants. The plant's fruit, corn, was first mother's flesh, given so that people might live and flourish. And they partook of first mother's flesh and found it sweet beyond words. Following her instructions, they did not eat it all, but put many kernels back into the earth. In this way, her flesh and spirit renewed themselves every 7 months, generation after generation. And at the spot where they had burned or buried first mother's bones, they grew another plant, broad-leafed and fragrant. It was first mother's breath, and they heard her spirit talking. Burn this up and smoke it. It is sacred. It will clear your minds, help your prayers, and gladden your hearts. And the first mother's husband called the first plant corn and the second plant tobacco. Remember, he told the people, and take care of the first mother's flesh, because it is her goodness becomes sustenance. Take good care of her breath, because it is her love turned to smoke. Remember her and think of her whenever you eat, whenever you smoke this sacred plant, because she has given her life so that you might live. Yet she is not dead. She lives in undying love and renews herself again and again. So this is retold from 3 19th century sources, including Joseph Nicolar. So I love that story for so many reasons. First being generally the mother archetype of the goddess always sacrifices her child unto the earth. And then she's there cyclically, archetypically, providing over and over again, whether it's through making children, her children making children, or feeding her children, and metaphors like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little story. I love this book, and I love the cycles of nature and cycles of the sun and cycles of the earth. When you pay attention to it and notice it, like, I can't help but to notice it. So I guess for some people it's different, but embodiment is just, for me, in total alignment with what's going on in the heavens, whether it's astrology and the planets, or whether it's our earth and our seasons and what the sun is doing and how it's affecting us. So I hope you guys learned a little something, or at least enjoyed the Corn Mother story. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Thank you.